This is another chicken poop to chicken soup saw. Basically had a bunch of 350 parts laying around, some better than others. And I figured, you know, maybe I could put together an interesting running saw. So I have a Hudzel top end kit. It's actually pretty nice, piston. And it comes with a cylinder, piston and rings, bearing cap. And by the way, you can take this same cylinder kit and put it on like a 345 and pump the displacement up to 50 cc's. But since I really don't have much into it because they're pretty cheap, I decided to make some changes. This would be a stock 350. Notice it's got a dished piston, and also notice it's got that divider right there. Well, a 346 doesn't have that. So I figured, well, let me see if I can grind the bearing cap more like a 346. And the Hudzel already comes with a flat top piston, so I'm going to get both a compression boost over stock and potentially some better flow in the transfers over stock. I also ground the transfers as much as I could. I got rid of the divider, which is in the middle. This is a stock one. I don't know if you can, but you can see that divider pretty much cuts it in half, but also takes a lot of cross-sectional area. So what I did on the Hudzel was ground that to match the edge of the bearing cap, opened it up that way as much as I could, and took out most of that divider right until it goes right into the cylinder, and left it alone, obviously, because that's what you have on the other end. But I also lowered or raised that relative to the cylinder. Just roughed it out just to see what it does. So this saw versus a stock 350 is going to have the flat top versus a dished. That's a compression increase. The divider taken away versus stock. The transfers opened up versus stock. Muffler mod versus stock. Basically doubled the outlet cross-sectional area by putting that 5/8 tube. I'm just going to get it running, then we'll go back and make it pretty if it works. One more change, again just to see if I can. The 357 or 359 carburetor actually bolts right on, or fits right on. So it's got a slightly larger bore. Not a lot, slightly. But the intake horn's quite a bit larger than the stock 350. I mean, that's the filter and all that's quite a bit. So yeah, I'm conceding the point that the intake manifold is not going to have a whole lot more cross-sectional area than stock. I'm debating on taking out that copper, taking that right out. But combination of a slightly larger carburetor, definitely larger intake, might, just might, reduce the drag and make it flow a little bit better on the carburetor. So I want to stick this whole thing together and see if it runs. I don't know. You know, it might run better than stock, it might not. I think it will run better. Oh yeah, one more thing is I changed the intake port timing a little bit. I took probably 80 thousandths, and so I advanced it about 4 degrees, and I'll let you know what the numbers are when I put it back together. But I advanced the intake timing about 4 degrees versus stock. That means 8 degrees total duration increase. So all those things added up, is it going to run better? It might, but you know, with all these two-strokes, all those pressures have got to be balanced properly. And I wasn't totally random in my numbers, with the exception of putting on the larger carburetor. That was random. So if the sun, the moon, the stars line up properly, it's going to run like a crazy thing as compared to a stocker. But by altering all that stuff, I could also basically ruin a good running saw too. So no guarantees here. Just wanted to see what happened if I did. Pile of crap, a little bit of time. I've been under the weather the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to see if I could make this saw run. Anyway, I'll put it back together and see if we can get fired up. Bye for now. Well, here it is together. It kind of went together ugly, but this is my mock-up, and I'll get it to run and then we'll work it out. .359 carburetor. I got to get a filter. That's the Husqvarna cylinder that I modified somewhat. Flat top piston, about 4 degrees advance on intake timing. The transfers worked a little bit. Muffler mod. Get it running, get it sorted out, and I'll take it down and check things. Well, it runs and oils. I didn't do a damn thing to the carburetor. Pumps out quite a bit of oil. I guess you can't argue with that. I guess all it's to do now is put a bar and chain on this thing and run it. But from the first impression, based really on other saws, throttle response. So this saw might run good. We're going to find out, aren't we? I got these little bars. I just don't have any chains for them. But I wanted to put it on and see if the chain brake, that's a Husqvarna chain brake, see if everything works. Seems to. Get a chain on this thing and bring it out in the woods and just see what it does. I have a hunch it's going to run pretty good. That's what I'm thinking now. I was pretty skeptical when I first put it together. And the real question is, how does it run relative to another 350? And that's what I'm going to need Bob's help for. And we're going to find that out at a different point in time. But for now, I think that's enough for a video. So, till later, bye from now.